everyone, thanks for today's first video. So we're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's first video. So day 10 takes us throughout the 21st of January, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe until around a couple of weeks. Going to have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and I shall get on with that for you very shortly. I think tonight we may have a quick look at the 12 set. We did that last night. Went through the GFS, GM and ECM. So, yes, sometime between around 7 and 8 o'clock, there'll be a little video, probably around 10 minutes, under 10 minutes, hopefully. That will just go through the 12Z very quickly of the 3 main models. And that'll be for you this evening. So before I do anything else, I've got to say thank you so much to our latest channel member. We're pinging up channel members all the time, so thank you so. We're nearly at 60 channel members. Can you believe that? Thank you so much to Sam Parker for becoming a channel member for Gaz Weathers. Thank you so much, Sam, for becoming a Gaz Weathers channel member. I have another channel member that I will shout out in tomorrow's 10 to 14 day as well. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely amazing. The number of channel members that we have got now is just unbelievable. So thank you to all of our channel members, and of course special thank you to Sam Parker for becoming the latest channel member for Gaz Weathervids. If you would like to become a channel member for Gaz Weathers, all you need to do is come to Gaz Weathers YouTube homepage, click the join button. It'll take you through to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member, and also you can sign up on that page as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. The subs are moving so quickly. I think we've put on something like 130 subs this weekend. On Saturday, we put on 70 subscribers. It's just absolutely amazing. I'm blown away by the number of subscribers we're putting on at the moment. So much interest out there, and so many of you seem to be enjoying the content. So thank you so much for subscribing. If you are new, if you have just subbed, then please drop a comment and make yourself known to me and to the Gaz Weathers community. And of course, make yourself known in the live stream as well. Next live stream will be at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. We are getting very quickly towards 10k subscribers. I've been saying we're on the grind to 10k subscribers, but actually we're moving, I'm not sure it's a grind so much as a sprint, because we are moving very, very quickly at the moment. So that's our next target, 10k subscribers. I have to get an Amazon voucher in quite soon, I think, because we only give away another voucher when you hit 10k. I did say we'd do that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get that voucher in soon. I thought it'd be like several weeks so I'd have to worry about getting the voucher, but how quickly we're moving, I think I better get it in when we hit 9.5k. And it's not going to be long. We've only got 20 to go to hit 9.5k. So I'll have to get an Amazon voucher in later on. We'll give that away when we reach 10k. But yeah, absolutely amazing, absolutely phenomenal. You know, the support at the moment. So big thank you to all of you. Big thank you to patrons, donors, super chatters, subscribers, channel members, you know, however you support Gaz Weathervids. Just thank you so much to each and every one of you. Absolutely amazing. Right, so let's get on with the video then, and we're going to start off by having a look at what's going on in the stratosphere at 10 HPA over North Pole. So we had the southern stratospheric warming last week. That lifted the temperature to around -20 at 850 HPA. We are now dropping back quite steadily and heading towards -60. So we're moving back towards long-term average, which is, of course, where that grey line is. But now we wait to see what the tropospheric response to that stratospheric warming is, because we did reverse zonal winds. So there should be a tropospheric response. This is how the GFS is forecasting things over the next couple of weeks in terms of temperature at 10 HPA. So the blue colours are where we've got the cold temperatures in the stratosphere, the polar vortex at its roots, if you like, at 10 HPA over the North Pole. Another warming is going to take place over Siberia by the look of it in around a week's time, not quite reaching southern stratospheric warming levels, but certainly another significant warming taking place over Siberia, and all this sort of acts to keep the polar vortex at its roots in its box, if you like. So again, so different this year to last year. It is actually absolutely unbelievable, the difference with the polar vortex and the overall weather setup from this year to last year. we'll keep an eye on what's happening in the stratosphere over the next few days, of course, or the next few weeks. Right, CT looks like this. For the first 10 days of January, we're standing at 1.2. That's an anomaly of 2.5 degrees below average. So it's been a cold start to January. Coldest start to January since 2010. I think coldest start to January for 11 years. This is going to lift up a little bit over the next few days because we are in a rather less cold air mass, although not particularly so. Not going to be going very mild by any means through the CT region. Just a little bit less cold, I suppose, or slightly milder than it has been. But yeah, I think it's going to be a cold and average month. Even at this early stage, I think we'll probably say this is going to be a cold and average month. The only question is how cold is it going to be? Right, so I've got a little bit of refreshing for tabs going on, so I shall pause the video there, refresh for tabs, and then I'll see you in a mo. Right, we're back, tabs refresh, so that should be that out of the way. Right then, so this is the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensemble graph for Gloucester. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Gloucester, so we're starting off above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment. So it has turned milder. Well, it does take a little while to warm it up on the ground, even with those mild upper air temperatures, because it's been so cold on the ground. So it's not overly mild on the ground, but it is milder than it has been. And up to like the middle of the month, we're going to keep things relatively mild. In the second half of this week, we're going to start turning things colder again around Friday. I mean, it looks like we're entering quite a prolonged cold period once again. Dates are on the bottom of the chart, so running on through the third week of January, which is of course this period just here and now into the final week of January. Looks like overall we keep the upper air temperatures below average ensemble mean, which is the white line, is solidly underneath the 30-year average. We have got some milder ensemble members, of course, in this period, but the majority are going cold again into the second half of January. There are some very notably cold ensemble members as well. So, excuse me, some of these ensemble members are dipping down to around minus 15 at 850 HPA. We would class that as a beast from the east type temperature level, although actually this cold is going to be primarily coming from the north by the look of it. So a beast from the north perhaps, or an Arctic snow leopard or something, I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be going colder as we go into the second half of January. And there's plenty of precipitation coming up as well. So this precipitation here is going to be primarily rain, with chance of some snow on the leading edge in the north and the east, perhaps. And then as we move on into the second half of January, as it gets really quite cold, there's also plenty of precipitation spikes there as well. So I certainly wouldn't be ruling out the chance of some sleet and snow in places. Temperature anomalies from the 11th to the 19th of January, a little bit cooler than average, a little bit colder than average, I suppose, I should say. And that does include like a milder interlude that's coming up over the next 2 or 3 days. So yeah, quite cold in the weekend. Most parts of Europe now are colder than average. Again, such a contrast to this time last year. And the precipitation anomaly from the 11th to 19th of January is average to above average in many parts of the country. A little bit drier than average down in the extreme southwestern corner. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that winds have turned westerly, so for the time being we've lost those cold Arctic winds, but you see they're not far away from us, they're just lurking to the north of Scotland where the wind is still in from the north, and later on this week, towards the end of this week, I think we'll start seeing those cold northerlies descending once again. There will be like colder pushes into the north and east in the coming days, actually. By the end of the week and into the weekend, I think we're all looking quite a lot colder again. That's how the UK Met is looking for Thursday, so low pressure is trying to come in off the Atlantic on Thursday, coming up against this Scandinavian high and a wedge of cold air across the country, so rain, sleet, possibly some sun leading edge Wednesday through to Thursday. That low pressure drops away to the south and a ridge builds in behind it through Friday. This brings cold air back in from the east, so we generally go drier but colder by the end of the week. I mean, another weather system starts coming in on Saturday. That one probably has a big mild sector with it, so it could start to bring outbreaks of rain in from the west. As we move through into Sunday, that low is again sliding away to the south. When you get these lows sliding like that, you can get snow on the northern edge, so maybe that could be light rain turning to snow on the back edge as below slides away to the south, and winds be begin to go back in to the north once again. Right, this is how the GFS midnight run looked. I want to show you this before the 6th set. Have a look at this. So this is Thursday, with, again, this weather system coming in from the Atlantic, bringing cloud, rain, possibly some sleet and snowing with it as well. That low pressure slips away to the south, so the weather front and the low pressure is stalling, slipping away to the south. That can produce snow sometimes. Then high pressure takes over close to the country into the weekend. Turns mostly dry, but it will be cold. As we move through to the early part of next week, this deep low pressure forms to the north of Scotland. Heights start to rise around Greenland, and then that low pressure pushes over towards southern Scandinavia. The wind turns into the north, so much colder winds start to push in from the north. There's a weather system through there. That could turn to snow on the back edge as those cold northerly winds dig in. And then look what the GFS midnight run does. It produces a very cold northerly wind with the origins of the, although wind is northerly, the origins of the air with this are actually originating from like Western Russia and Svalbard, that sort of area up there, and plunging down. So although it's a northerly wind, the origins are like northeast. Very cold wind direction in the middle of January, and so we see the -10 Celsius ice firm gathering to the north of the country. Scandinavia and northwestern Russia are absolutely plunged into the freezer. And as we go on beyond day 10, we do start to pull in those very, very cold winds from the northeast. So this looks very cold and snowy. -10 Celsius ice firm is over the country. It's through the country. -15 Celsius ice firms begin to come across the North Sea. These northeast winds, as they run over North Sea, will produce a lot of heavy snow showers as well. Look at that, -15 Celsius ice firm is knocking on the door of the east coast. This is sub-zero temperatures day and night if this came off. And there would be lots of heavy snow being dragged in from the east as well. Then we start to try and move low pressure in off the Atlantic, push it up against that cold air into a very extended range into the final week of January. So still cold, but with the risk of prolonged spells of snow. And the -10 Celsius ice firm again is through the country. We finish up like that, 27th of January, as this little ridge through the country. Very cold, of course, under that ridge. And the Atlantic probably going to have another go at sending low pressure in. Maybe that would be the end of the cold spell, maybe it wouldn't. It could go either way. So that's how the GFS midnight run looks. Very, very cold and wintry run. This is the very latest GFS run, the 6Z. So we'll have a look at this. Again, we've got this stalling low through the middle of the week. That clears away. And we build high pressure in behind it. So it turns drier and colder into the weekend. Then into next week, low pressure begins to form to the north of Scotland. That probably brings some heavy rain through the early part of next week before it moves southwards and eastwards. And again, we start to pull in those very cold northeasterly winds. By day 10, we're in a very cold air mass. Low pressure is trying to push up from the south, could bring some snow on the leading edge of that. Of course, there's the upper air temperatures for day 10 shown again. The -10 Celsius ice firm is sitting there just to the north and east of Scotland. This low would be bringing a lot of snow across England and Wales by just after day 10, by the 22nd of January. It's within a cold air mass. We are pulling in the -10 Celsius ice firm. So it's bitterly cold, and there will be a lot of snow associated with that low. The low then clears out of the way, and we get this ridge building through the country for like 23rd of January. We're still looking very cold with the upper air temperatures there. Then a bit of a change with the 6Z. Right at the very end, it does start to go milder. This low pressure comes in off the Atlantic, probably bringing rain or snow, and we finish up looking like that, potentially hinting at going colder again. The cold never gets out of Scandinavia. We never remove the cold air mass from Scandinavia, so at any point we could start to pull those cold north or northeasts back in again. This is the precipitation type forecast based on the midnight run of the GFS, so have a look at that starting next Monday, 18th of January. So again, we've got rain coming in from the north on that active cold front. As that moves south, that's when we start to introduce the cold northerly wind, suggestion of a little bit of snow on the back edge of that cold front. And then it just gets snowier and snowier. Look at this, lots of snow packing in from the north. So plenty of snow coming in on with bitterly cold northeasterly winds, and most of the country would be blanketed in snow there as we go through the final week of January, or into the final week of January. The 6Z looks like this, so I'll just show you the GFS 6Z precipitation type forecast. Let's do that again. So at the moment, we're just primarily talking about rain, although there is a little bit of snow over the highest ground in Scotland. Through to next week, we bring, through to middle of the week, I should say, bring this weather system in from the Atlantic. Some of that rain could turn to snow on the leading edge through central and eastern parts of the country. It's certainly possible that it might do. Then the low will clear away and it'll turn drier over the weekend. Into next week, we've got more weather systems coming in off the Atlantic initially again, bringing rain, but then it's going to get colder. Snow suggested there through Wales and the Midlands, for example, by the middle of next week. And then that low pressure comes up from the south, of course, so that will bring lots of heavy snow with it, primarily focused on England, Wales, and just loads of snow here with the GFS at the moment. Consistently, every run is doing this at the moment as we go into the end of the first week, final week of January. Eventually, it is turning milder with GFS 6Z, so we do go back towards rain. Right, this is how the GM is looking. So again, got this stormy weather system trying to come in off the Atlantic on Wednesday through to Thursday. Weekend goes a bit milder. Into next week, this low pressure drops in from the north and then we start to pull down cold northerly winds again. So the GM by day 10 is also plunging us into a very cold northerly wind. Again, the wind is northerly, but it's the origins that are most important. The origins of the air are coming from the east and the northeast. So the northerly wind plunging down like that tells us that this is a very cold air mass that we're tapping into potentially by day 10 on the GM. And then the ECM also looks like this. So that's stormy weather system from Wednesday through to Thursday, then a little bit milder over the weekend or second half of the weekend. Before winds turn into the north next week, and again the ECM by day 10 is pulling in this cold or potentially very cold northerly wind. The origins of the air northeasterly, so the origins of the air coming from that direction and plunging down across the west of Europe like that. And of course, with this low across northern France, that does suggest the possibility of some heavy snow through the Channel and onto the south coast. This is a precipitation type forecast based on the ECM run from Temeteo.com. So rain will be coming southwards over the next few hours and it turns drier for a time before more rain comes in off the Atlantic around the middle of the week. And again, the suggestion that some of this could turn to snow through like Scotland into northern England, possibly down into parts of the Midlands as well. Chance of some snow there through the middle part of the week. It's struggling to move eastward, but some snow moving into eastern England and Scotland there. Quite a few hours worth of snow. You know, it's like a couple of days of snow through the central and eastern part of the country. So it would be enough recovering, although it's very marginal. Then it turns drier before we bring rain in off the Atlantic over the weekend. And then, of course, we go into those northerly winds and it's getting much colder. And the suggestion, as we have that low sitting over northern France, that we get some significant snow focused on lowland southern England by day 10. That is the chart for day 10, which is the 21st of January. And very, very snowy from the Channel low across much of the south and the southeast. Significant and disruptive snow on the ECM run by day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 21st of January. We have 16 members of the ECM ensemble showing a mid-Atlantic ridge heading up towards Greenland with low pressure to our east, winds again coming in from the north, very cold and wintry with that. 13 with low pressure to the north, northeast, high pressure a little bit more to the west, southwest. So that'll be slightly less cold, maybe a little bit milder with that option. 11, including the operational run with blocking in the North Atlantic to Greenland and deep low pressure over the country and to our east. Winds are coming in from the north to northeast, very cold and wintry. And then 11, just including the control run, has low pressure to the east, northeast, high pressure to the west, northwest. So that's going to be cold as well. Generally, most of the options are favouring cold weather at day 10. In 2 weeks' time, These are the options that we're going to have. This gets us to the 26th of January. We have 16 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to our east. High pressure is up towards Greenland. Winds again are in from the north, cold and wintry. 13 with low pressure over into the south of the country, blocking around Greenland. Winds again in from the north, cold and wintry. 11 with low pressure more to the north, higher pressure to the south. That's a little bit of a milder option. And then 11 just here with a mid-Atlantic ridge. Looks like it's still going up towards Greenland. Low pressure to our east-southeast. You expect that to still be pretty cold. So most of the options are keeping things cold up towards the end of January now. Who would have thought it? Lastly, CFSB2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into weekly periods. The first week period will take us from the 11th to the 17th of January. The coming week has blocking towards Greenland and Iceland with low pressure to our east. Winds are in from a north to northeast direction, cold and wintry, with the chance of snow in the week ahead, particularly so late on. Week 2, look at this. It's a big change. CFS has been shown. This is the 18th to 24th of January. Again, blocking is centred around Greenland. Low pressure is to our south and to our east. Winds again will be in from the east. That looks like it could be cold and snowy, more particularly for southern and eastern parts of the country. Week 3 is the 25th of January to the 31st, last day of the month. Low pressure is in off the Atlantic, still with northern blocking though. Jet stream is rising northwards, so it's trying to get a bit milder, trying to revert back to westerlies, but will probably in reality still be quite cold and wintry. Week 4 does go milder. This is the 1st to the 7th of February, when high pressure then sets up to the south. Still with northern block in mind, but the wind will be going west-southwesterly. So eventually the CFS does get us into milder weather, but it takes until week 4 to do it. Right, that's it then. That's your video, your 10 to 14 day video for today. If you enjoy this video, please can you click like, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about this video. And don't forget to tell your friends about GWV, get them to subscribe as well. And we're going to get to 10k subscribers very, very soon. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Absolutely amazing and unbelievable. So, as I say, this evening I think we'll have a quick zip through the 12 days like we did in last night's video. It should be under 10 minutes, that video. And we'll go through the GFS, the GM, and also the ECM. The ECM will be updating as I am doing the video. But I'll try and get it fully to you, like up to day 10. Okay, so we could be in for some significant and very cold and snowy weather next week. It's all in the unreliable time frame. That's a caveat to add. It's all be around sort of days. Starts around day 8. So day 8, 9, 10 is when it begins. It gets more severe between days 10 and sort of 14 or 15. So it is unreliable, but we could be in for it next week. And obviously we'll be keeping you updated about all of this and all of the developments in the coming days and in the videos over the next week or so. So exciting times. Make sure you're subbed and we'll keep you informed. You'll be able to see future weather content if you do that. For this video though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.